You've been told you're too sensitive, too emotional, too much. And somewhere along the way, you started believing it. You started thinking something was wrong with you. But what if you're not broken? What if you're just operating on a frequency most people will never reach? Today, I'm showing you 5 signs that prove you're not too much. You're not broken. You're just too smart for the emotional baseline most people operate on. Sign number 3, that's the one that's been making you feel crazy, like you're seeing and feeling things nobody else notices. And sign 5, that's the one that proves this isn't a flaw, it's a frequency. Let's go.
Sign number 1. You don't just understand other people's emotions, you feel them in your body. Someone across from you is anxious and your chest gets tight. Someone's grieving and you feel this heaviness in your stomach. Someone's excited and your energy spikes, even though nothing exciting is happening to you. This isn't empathy, this is something deeper. It's called emotional contagion, and people with extremely high EQ experience it at an amplified level. Your brain has something called mirror neurons. Everyone has them, but in people with high EQ, they're hyperactive. You're not just observing someone's emotional state, your nervous system is mimicking it. Which is why you can walk into a party feeling great, talk to one stressed person, and leave feeling drained. You didn't just notice their stress, you absorbed it. If you've ever felt like an emotional sponge, that's not weakness, that's high EQ. Sign number 2. You see emotional reactions coming before they happen. You're in a meeting, someone says something, and instantly you know exactly how another person is about to react. You see their face start to shift, and you already know they're about to get defensive, or shut down, or explode. And you're always right. This happens because your brain is running constant emotional simulations. You're not just processing what's happening now, you're processing patterns, micro-expressions, tone shifts, body language changes. And you're using all that data to predict what's about to unfold. Most people react to emotions after they happen. You see them before they surface. Which is why you sometimes feel like you're watching a slow-motion car crash. You can see exactly what's about to go wrong, and there's nothing you can do but watch it happen. If you've ever thought, I knew they were going to react like that, you're not psychic. You're just reading emotional data faster than everyone else. And we're just getting started. The next sign, that's the one that makes you feel alone sometimes, because you're noticing things nobody else sees.
Sign number 3, and this is the one that can make you feel crazy. Small emotional changes feel massive to you. Someone's tone shifts slightly, like 1%. Nobody else even notices. But to you, it's like they screamed. Someone types okay instead of okay, and you know something's wrong. Someone smiles, but their eyes don't move, and you can feel the disconnect. Most people need big signals to pick up on emotional changes. Crying, yelling, obvious body language. But you're picking up on micro signals that are almost invisible. And when you mention it, hey, are you okay? You seem off. They look at you like you're insane. I'm fine. Why would you think that? Because to them, nothing changed. But to you, everything did. This is what extremely high EQ looks like. You're not overthinking. You're not paranoid. You're just operating with a resolution most people don't have. Sign number 4. You get exhausted after being around people. Even people you love. You go to a party, you have a great time. Everyone's happy, you're laughing, it's fun. And then you get home and you're completely drained. Not because the people were bad, not because you're introverted, but because you were processing everyone's emotional state the entire time. Here's what happens. Most people show up to social situations and manage one emotional stream, theirs. But you're managing 10, 20. You're tracking how everyone's feeling. You're noticing who's uncomfortable, who's faking it, who needs support, and you're doing this unconsciously. You can't turn it off. So by the end of the night, you've absorbed and processed the emotional data of an entire room. If you need time alone after being around people, even people you care about, you're not antisocial, you're emotionally overloaded. And that's a sign of high EQ, not low. If you're recognizing yourself in these signs, there's a book that changed how I understood this. It's called Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradberry. It comes with an actual assessment that measures your EQ across 4 areas, and it gives you strategies for managing high emotional intelligence so it doesn't drain you. Links in the description.
Now, let's get to the final sign.
Sign number 5, the one that separates high EQ from extremely high EQ. You don't communicate the same way with everyone. And I don't mean you're fake. I mean you automatically adjust your tone, your word choice, your energy, your approach based on who you're talking to. You're talking to someone who needs direct feedback? You give it to them straight. Someone who's sensitive? You soften your delivery. Someone who's analytical? You lead with data. Someone who's emotional? You lead with feelings. This isn't manipulation. This is emotional translation. You're reading what someone needs to hear something, not just what you need to say. And you're delivering the message in the way they can actually receive it. Most people communicate based on their style. They say things the way they would want to hear them. You're shape-shifting your communication to match the other person's emotional frequency, which is why you sometimes feel like a chameleon, like you don't have a consistent personality. But that's not true. You're just fluent in multiple emotional languages. And that's mastery-level emotional intelligence. Now, before you think this is all amazing, let me be real with you. Extremely high emotional intelligence is a gift, but it's also exhausting. You see things other people don't see. You feel things other people don't feel. And sometimes you carry emotional weight that isn't even yours. If you've ever felt alone in a crowded room, if you've ever wished you could just turn it off, if you've ever been called too sensitive or overthinking, I need you to hear this. You're not too much. You're not broken. You're just wired to experience the emotional world at a higher resolution than most people. And that's rare. And that's valuable. Look, emotional intelligence at this level isn't always comfortable. You're going to feel things deeply. You're going to notice things others miss. You're going to get tired from social interaction. You're going to adjust how you show up based on who's in front of you. And sometimes you're going to wonder if it would be easier to just feel less. But here's what I want you to remember. The world needs people like you. People who can read a room. People who can feel what's not being said. People who can translate emotions into understanding. That's not a burden. That's a superpower. Just make sure you're protecting your energy, setting boundaries, taking time to recharge, because you can't pour from an empty cup. If this video made you feel seen, hit subscribe. I make content for people who experience the world deeply. And drop a comment. Which of these 5 signs hit you the hardest? I want to know which one made you think, oh my God, that's me. Remember, feeling deeply isn't a flaw, it's a frequency. And you're operating on a level most people will never reach. That makes you rare. Own it.